latest news and the people making it. Elias Mekos, CJAD 800.
Uh-oh. I got news to take our minds off the election. Uh-oh. This coming in from BNN Bloomberg. Before we get to our fish story, speaking of fishy, this coming in from BNN Bloomberg just a few minutes ago. Breaking, UK Serious Fraud Office. The United Kingdom has a serious fraud office, not just the fraud office. Serious fraud office has confirmed a probe into Bombardier. And then followed that up, BNN Bloomberg also sending this out. Breaking, UK fraud office investigating Bombardier over alleged bribery. So this is all the info we have. This is coming from BNN Bloomberg, but it's like, uh-oh. That's exactly what we need to hear. But maybe it'll take our minds off other things. Let's try and do that for the next few moments. Sylvain Charlebois joins me now, food professor at Dalhousie University. Sylvain, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Thank you for saving us from election talk just for a few moments, okay? I appreciate
No problem.
it. Now, if you want to bring in politics, you may want to do that, but we'll see where it goes. The question that we have for you this morning, Sylvain, is why does Canada still have a low standard of seafood traceability? I think we've all heard the stories. They've done the tests where you go to a restaurant and you order X fish, but you actually get Y. You go to the grocery store, you want it's labeled as one type of fish, it's another. Sylvain, why is this still a problem?
It's still a problem because, few people talk about it, and it's a complex issue. I mean, the supply chain, when it comes to fish, it's pretty complicated. I'm not sure if your listeners knew, but basically 90% of all the fish and seafood we eat in Canada is imported, and for exports, it's the other way around. So you can see that really rely on global food supply chains to get our fish and seafood, and it gets complicated out there. It's an obscure industry. Not a whole lot of things are negotiated publicly, and a lot of fraudsters get away with it. And so Oceania's mandate is to make this problem much more public. But there are standards that do exist. It's just sometimes the industry don't bother to look into them. Like the Marine Sustainability Council, MSC, if you look it up, I mean, it's a non-for-profit organization that actually works with restaurateurs, wholesalers, companies all over the world. And if you comply to standards from MSC, you should be okay. But the problem is that nobody really asks about it.
No, but also the problem, Sylvain, let's just be blunt about the whole thing. The problem is all the fish taste alike, right? The fish are the problem here, right? They shouldn't all look and taste the same.
It's very rare. I mean, in some way, if you sit down at a restaurant with a glass of wine and you order fish, you'll end up probably enjoying your meal with some nice sauce and everything else. You're not going to start wondering, or you're not going to question the integrity of the menu, of the chef. I mean, you're having a good time. And so that's why it's a little bit more difficult for any one of us to distinguish or to actually make an effort of saying, well, you know what? I want to have proof. I want to know if I'm ordering is the exact same thing that's mentioned on the menu. Not a whole lot of people actually do question that because you know what? Most people actually are enjoying their dish. But here's the thing. You may end up eating something that is overpriced.
Yes, and so it's all economic, right? Because if you can sell someone a fish and you tell them it's red snapper and red snapper is expensive, but you serve them a fish that's half the price, that's profit, right?
Exactly. So most of these fraud cases are economically motivated, of course, and this is why you'll have some. The problem is that you'll have some really honest restaurateurs, honest companies out there trying to follow rules. They don't want to commit fraud, but you have others just bringing the entire industry down. Yeah. And so that's why it's an important issue, because you have a lot of family businesses that actually do honor what they sell. But if you only need one rotten apple to ruin it for everyone.
And got to point out, the fraud happens at multiple levels, right? So it's not necessarily the restaurant doing the fraud. Sometimes the restaurant orders the fish. They're not getting what they ordered, right?
and they wouldn't know about it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But that's why a program like MSC or even Ocean Wise out of Vancouver, those are programs. If you're a customer and you're wondering whether or not you are protected, just ask a simple question: are you Ocean Wise certified? Are you MSC certified? And the reaction to that question will be interesting. It will tell you whether or not they actually care about food fraud.
And Sylvain, we're with Sylvain Charlebois, the food professor himself. Sylvain, listen, even if they update the standards, they improve the standards, you also have to follow it up with enforcement. So is this really a fixable problem?
It is. But it is a vast problem. The CFIA is on it. They were granted a $25 million budget over 5 years. It's still not a whole lot, but it's more than nothing. They are testing more and more, and they are reporting more and more. They actually looked at honey last year, olive oil. But the fish one is a complicated one. I must say, because there's so much going on there, and there's so much going on outside our borders that the CFIA is just overwhelmed.
So what makes fish more, you brought up some other cases here, and it seems like you can have food fraud for any type of product if there's profit to be made. But what makes it so tricky on the fish end?
It's the number of species and the fact that really a lot of things do happen on ships, on boats, before they come to shore. The best traceability system, I've always said, is to actually see that head on the fish.
Yes.
You'll know for sure what you're eating.
Yes.
But the problem is that a lot of the processing actually occurs offshore. Well, that's the problem.
Sylvain, always a pleasure talking to you. And boy, one of the pleasures I have in life, you get to eat a whole fish, baked in the oven, or it's just it's so tremendous. So
enjoy, my friend.
All in favor of that. And I will also say this, based on my weekend, avoid the leftover calamari in your fridge. Just throw it away.
Yeah, exactly.
That was one of my stories from the weekend, and I'll leave it there. Sylvain, it's always fun talking to you.
All right, take care.